This Sunday will mark the first time ever WWE will air a pay-per-view with just female wrestlers only. The women's revolution has come a long way since its #GiveDivas a Chance movement, and this pay-per-view will certainly change the landscape of women's wrestling for the future. When Stephanie McMahon first announced the pay-per-view, she mentioned that over 50 women will participate. However, the WWE realized over time that that number has been severely exaggerated, as so far, WWE only have 33 women confirmed for the event. Whilst this is impressive, it's still shy of their target. These include former Women's and Divas champions that haven't been seen in the WWE for years. Whilst we could see a few more names announced just before the pay-per-view, there are 3 former wrestlers who didn't want to be part of the Evolution pay-per-view. Number 1. Gail Kim. When Gail Kim entered the WWE, she had an explosive debut, winning the Women's Championship by overcoming 6 other wrestlers in a battle royal on Raw. However, she would only wrestle in the WWE for 2 years before being released due to cost-cutting measures. Appearing on X-Pac's 12360 podcast, she mentioned that her timing was wrong when she debuted, saying, "I felt held down in WWE. It was just the wrong timing in that company. When I first came into the company, the women's division was strong with Trish and Jazz with all those girls. When the first Divas search happened, it kinda went away. That's when I got fired actually, and mind you, it brought me my best friend Christy Hemme. It always felt like it was just never a right fit for me." Kim would make a better name for herself in TNA, having an incredible feud with Awesome Kong, and at the end of her run with the company, she was a 7-time TNA Knockouts champion. But despite her feelings on her timing and direction the WWE was taking with female wrestlers, she returned to the WWE in 2008, hoping to become one of the finest female performers of her generation. It's just a shame her second run was even more underwhelming. Burnt by her lackluster run, she would quit in 2012, vowing never to step back in the WWE ever again. She would retire from in-ring competition in 2018, becoming an Impact Wrestling producer, and has so far stuck to her promise of never going back to WWE. When Twitter user Leolicious tweeted, "It would be cool to see Gail Kim in Evolution come October," Kim tweeted, "Happy for the women in the company, but if I ever made a return, it would be only for Impact Wrestling." The TNA Hall of Famer went on to explain that she was never content during her 2 spells with WWE, and that happiness, not money, is a primary motivation in life. Number 2. AJ Lee. AJ Lee was one of the few female wrestlers in WWE who started the women's revolution before it became WWE's go-to buzzword. Till this day, she remains to be one of the most impactful female superstars in the past decade, cutting down the stereotypes of women wrestling in bikinis and getting pushes because of their cup size. During her WWE run, she would become a 3-time Divas champion, but would surprisingly leave the promotion during the height of her wrestling career. The main reason for her leaving the WWE was down to the strained relationship between her real-life husband CM Punk and the WWE after his abrupt exit. Even though she stayed on with the company after her husband's departure, she was being treated for cervical spine issues by WWE's Dr. Chris Amann, the same person Punk was suing for medical negligence. Lee also struggled with real-life mental health issues, and when WWE asked her to play a crazy character on screen, she refused to do it. According to Sportskeeda.com, during Lee's interview with the New York Post, it was noted that she was set to take part in a series of goofy skits in which her character hallucinated, kissed a leprechaun, and danced with dinosaurs from outer space. Lee ultimately felt that the WWE was mocking serious mental health issues and wanted no part of it. As a result, she was kept off television for months, and made her decision to leave after WrestleMania 31. As soon as the Evolution pay-per-view was announced, it was reported that WWE was reaching out to Lee for a wrestling return. However, according to Mike Johnson of PW Insider, there has been no progress with the former Divas champion, saying, "I don't think there's a real chance of that happening unless things clear up between her husband and WWE. It just places her in a bad place personally." And number 3. Sable. As we mentioned earlier, Stephanie McMahon originally wanted more than 50 female superstars to appear at the pay-per-view. It was a big quota to fulfill, and that's probably why WWE have done all they can to reach out to just about every wrestler they could, even ones who sued Vince McMahon for sexual harassment many years ago, that being former women's champion Sable. Sable was only brought into the WWE as a valet of Triple H and her real-life husband at the time, Mark Mero. However, she managed to become an overnight sensation in the WWE, surpassing the popularity of her husband and becoming one of the most popular superstars in the WWE during its Attitude Era. She would quit WWE in June of 1999, filing a $110 million lawsuit against the company. With the WWE settling out of court for an undisclosed amount, she would make her eventual return in 2003, but her last appearance would be in 2004, leaving WWE again as, according to her husband Brock Lesnar, she wanted to spend more time with her family. Despite her rollercoaster relationship with WWE, according to WrestlingNews.co, they had reached out to her for a return, offering her a spot in the Battle Royal amongst other returning legends or as a guest ring announcer. However, it's been reported that she has turned down the offer as a deal couldn't be agreed upon. Which former female wrestler do you want returning at Evolution? Let us know in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.